Hello, everyone. Hope everybody had a good week this week. Um, so today we're going to try to just get as much done as possible. If you watch the last video, we were painting and all that kind of stuff. Well, all that stuff's done, so we need to start putting the ceiling up. I've got some materials left over from the bedroom that we just completed, so we're going to use that stuff up first so we can get a good calculation of what is left to purchase. And then we've also got barn doors that we're working on. One of them's completed. We're going to work on another one, and we got to start getting them painted. So stick around. Let's see what happens. All right, so to get things started, we're going to get the first coat of, I guess, kind of the background color of this on this door here that I made. I got some tarps, some new tarps I got from Harbor Freight, and I'm doing about a 50-50 mix of paint and water for the background color, which is a gray color. So let's get this set up and get this going so it can dry. Hello, everybody. We are back in the shop now. So I got a little side project to do of making some barn doors for somebody, and the paint scheme is going to be something different than I've ever done before. So I'm going to try to do some samples to see how that works, and then kind of go from there. So stick around. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. So I got these little sample kind of boards right here, and what I want to do is I got a little sample size paint of this gray paint, and what I want to try to do is kind of make the gray like the background, and then once it's dry, then do a whitewash with white paint on top of that so the gray kind of shows through. Normally when you do a whitewash, you'll see like the wood grain showing through, but instead of seeing all the grain, I want that gray color to come through. So one sample I'm just going to do straight gray, and then the other sample I'm actually going to thin down the gray just a little bit so it's not as strong or as coming through. And then when that's dry, which probably tomorrow, then I'm going to do a whitewash on both of them, and we'll see which one looks the best. So let's get started with the gray. All right, so this side, this is just the solid gray, and it's pretty solid. You can't really see any wood grain. I mean, you can see some characteristics, but you can't really see through the paint. And then this is kind of the whitewash of that gray. You see a little bit more grain, and it's you can see a little bit of the wood showing through. So we'll see how it looks tomorrow. All right, so if you remember yesterday, we painted these boards, and this one is the full gray, and then this one is the whitewash gray. So what I've done is I've mixed up some white paint, 50-50 mix, and we're gonna use a chip brush to put it on both of them, and then we'll see what the results are when they dry. All right, y'all, so this is how the samples turned out. So this was the first one that had the full gray and then the whitewash on top of it. This one had the whitewash gray and then the whitewash white on top of it. I kind of like it better. This one, it kind of seems like it kind of beat it up a little bit and then dried that way, but I don't know. We'll see what she likes, but that's it. So hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to start building these doors. All right, so we got the the base coat on. Like I said, it is a kind of a 50-50 mix of paint and water. So we got one side of it done, and so we're gonna give it some time to dry. It'll dry pretty quick. Once it's dry, we'll flip it over and then we'll do the back side. But until that's ready, look at the chief taking a break. I had some ceiling boards left over for when I was doing the bedroom. So I'm gonna go ahead and put up the rest of what I have, so then I can get a really good, you know, kind of estimate on what I'm gonna need to finish this area off. So let's get to it. So those were the last 3 tongue and groove boards that I had left over from the bedroom. So I went ahead and got those stained so that we'll be ready to get those put up. Man, this place is a mess. I got stuff all over the place. I gotta get this cleaned up. So now this is dry. So we're gonna go ahead and flip it over and get this base coat done on the other side. Yeah, so that's the second coat of whitewash that's on there. I use what's called a chip brush, and it's a very rough brush. It's definitely not for elegant things, but it kind of, when you kind of, well, I'll show you when I do the other side, but when you kind of skip it across the boards, you know, it'll leave some of the background color, the gray, kind of showing, so it looks very rustic. So anyway, we'll let that dry and see how it looks in a little bit. All right, y'all, so in case you didn't know it, this is a chip brush. They're really super cheap, you know, like $1, sometimes a little bit less. I think I got these at Harbor Freight, I think. But when I apply it, what you kind of have to do is it's like you just kind of let it skip across the wood like so, and then that will leave areas that don't get the whitewash, and it lets the gray show through, you know, like it was aging or vintage or rustic. So that's what we're going to do to the whole rest of this back. So that's how the back of the door turned out. Like I said, it looks, you know, rustic, and you know, it appears that it's old, you know, even though it's not. I know I've seen some people just go ahead and just paint and then use like a wire brush or something, but that kind of makes the surface not smooth. And then if you go back and try to sand to make it smooth, you kind of lose all those rustic kind of marks. So I prefer to do it this way, and then now it's still smooth. Even though it doesn't look smooth, it is smooth, and I don't have to resand. All right, so I was also able to get kind of like three rows of this up on the ceiling. That's really basically all I had left over. So now I need to calculate how much more I need. There's trim that goes up here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start just putting that trim up over here on this wall, so then once again I can see what I got left over and kind of calculate what I need to get. So I'm gonna get to that. All right, so I got this trimmed up just on this one side here, but it was enough to kind of let me know what I'm gonna need for the other side once I get the rest of the ceiling up, and then, you know, across that threshold, and there's gonna be some trim that's gonna need to be done You know, we're probably around this little landing area once once I get the ceiling part up on it. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Not too bad, not too bad. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap this one up. May have been a little bit shorter than some of the last couple ones that I did, but you know, today I kind of had limited time and I wanted to squeeze as much stuff in as possible. If you don't post videos on YouTube, or you've never like recorded something for, you know, instruction or whatever, it takes way longer to get anything done when you have to record and, you know, move the camera and do this and do that. So today I kind of chose not to record a whole lot of what I was doing and just get it done. So hopefully next week we'll have more time, and I'll be able to get a little bit more footage of the stuff that I'm actually doing. But anyway, hope you guys had a great week this week. And hopefully next week will be even better. I don't know what your all's weather's been like. Leave a comment on this video down below. Let me know. You know, we're in the Midwest, and so it's kind of been a roller coaster. You know, last week we had a couple of days that were 60, and then like 50, and then 20, and then 30, and then 40. Some areas of Missouri got 2, 3, 3.5, 4 inches of snow. Where I live, got 0 snow, but we got some rain. So anyway, let me know kind of what it's doing in your area. Here, you just kind of get used to the Missouri life, which is you never know what it's going to do on any day. So anyway, you guys have a great rest of your weekend and a great week, and we'll see you next week with some stuff. That's Missouri Life.